I was really, really fortunate to have been for 14 years. And, I want to start by thanking everyone in the Falcons organization, starting with Arthur Blank, for the incredible opportunity that I had to play there for the last 14 seasons. And it's bittersweet for sure, because, I look around and I got to meet so many people in this building today, and you can tell that this is a really well-run, tight-knit group, and that's one I'm leaving as well.
Tori, I would say it was more important for us to do right by Matt than to try to maximize compensation. And when we look at it, yes, we probably could have opened it up and talked to every team and traded Matt somewhere that he didn't want to be and got more compensation. Yes, there's probably, if we could have had a drawn out process and shopped him and gone through this and traded him somewhere he didn't want to be. But we talked about it. We said, if we're going to go down this road, we want to do right by Matt.
I don't know. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I don't know about that. The voices you heard, obviously. Matt Ryan, the new quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, looks good. Got the blue tie, great blue tie, blue blazer. Got the Colts logo behind him. He's going to look good. He's going to look good as a Colt. So, yeah, Matt Ryan thanking Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, and looking forward to the opportunity. All the things you'd expect Matt Ryan to say, because that's just who he is. Then you heard Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith, general manager and head coach, respectively, of the Atlanta Falcons. And that was Fontenot saying, now you guys tell me, like, Fontenot saying we could have gotten more compensation if we were focused on that, but we wanted to do right by Matt. Terry, that sounds good. That sounds good, but that's not your job. I'm sorry, that's not your job. Look, if you want to bring back Matt Ryan as your quarterback, okay, bring back Matt Ryan. You don't move him. It's a huge dead cap number already. It's as if Matt Ryan is there, but now he's a quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. So if you got a huge number, you might as well hold on to Matt Ryan. But if you're going to trade him, you don't just say, I'm going to find the best situation for him. No. You're in the business of doing what's best for the organization, not doing what's best for Matt Ryan. And I like him. I'm a Matt Ryan fan. I know some of you aren't, and we'll talk about that later in comments. Some of you took issue when I said Matt Ryan is an underrated quarterback, even though the numbers say top 10 in NFL history with his production, has been consistent, is durable, is an MVP, been to the Super Bowl, didn't win it, not his fault, has won games, not in the playoffs, but got a winning record, got a lot of good things going for him. You can get more compensation in this quarterback-thirsty market. Every team, well, not every team, a lot of teams out there now are looking for good quarterbacks, and they would give you more than a third-round pick that you got for Matt Ryan. So I didn't like that. I also didn't like, and we didn't play it, but I just want to summarize it. I didn't like the comment from Arthur Smith when he was asked a very good question, are you rebuilding? Are the Falcons rebuilding? He's asked that. He said, no, I don't like that word. I don't like that word rebuilding. I can't go into the locker room and tell those guys that they're rebuilding. This is the National Football League. We're in the business of winning games. Okay. Yeah, you're in the business of winning games, but you are rebuilding. In the last 2 years, you've traded your franchise pillars for second and third round picks. That's not good either, is it, right? If you say it that way. You got a Hall of Fame guy, this is a random thought. You got a Hall of Fame guy and Julio Jones, great draft pick, and you traded him for number 2, second round pick. Going to the Hall of Fame, second round pick, Matt Ryan might go to the Hall of Fame. He might, I don't know. I'm not trying to make an argument here. I'm just saying, best quarterback in franchise history, and you traded him for a third. So two of the greatest players in Falcons history, you moved on from them in the last 2 years, and you're not rebuilding? Okay. You don't want to call it rebuilding? He said he said we're in transition. Okay, that's one way of saying it. Rebuilding, reimagining, reshaping. We're reframing. Why don't they just come out and say we're rebuilding, which is what they are? But if they continue to think that way, if Arthur Smith continues to say that this is not a rebuild and we're in the business of winning games, and Arthur Blank starts to believe it, if they're not saying something different behind the scenes, if they actually operate by that, Arthur Smith, you're going to get yourself fired. You're going to get yourself fired probably a year or two before it's fair. No, you're rebuilding, and you're not talking to your players right now. You're talking to the fan base. Tell the players a different story when the season starts. But when you're giving a press conference in March, you're not talking to your players. You're talking to your fans, and your fans need to understand what's going on. Right now, what they have at quarterback is Marcus Mariota as their starter, a guy who's been a backup for the last couple of years, a number 2 overall pick who never really panned out as the great talent that he was projected to be. You got Marcus Mariota at quarterback. You got Julio Jones going somewhere else. You got Matt Ryan in Indianapolis. You don't really have an identity right now as a playoff team or even a competitive team. Yes, you're rebuilding. Now, the team you traded Matt Ryan to, I think it's a great story. We've talked a lot about quarterbacks with all this movement, whether it's Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland, Matt Ryan going to the Colts, Russell Wilson going to the Broncos, all this movement with quarterbacks, even Carson Wentz going to Washington. It is a premium position, obviously, in the league. And if you don't have one of those guys, it used to be if you missed on one of those guys at the top of the draft, it could send your franchise into a spiral. Oh, that's true. But just imagine for the Colts, I do have a little sympathy for them. They didn't miss on that guy. They should have had 20 or 25 years of great quarterbacking. Had Peyton Manning, moved on from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, and they don't have to worry about the position for a long time. And when Andrew Luck retired, just think about what that has done to this franchise. They're a good team. They're a really good team. Good offensive line, good coaching, good, small g, good ownership, a little bit of a wild card, Jim Irsay, a little bit of a wild card, but a good ownership group, good defense. But they've had 5 quarterbacks. Matt Ryan's going to be their 5th quarterback in the last 5 years, and it all comes back to Andrew Luck deciding that he didn't want to play football anymore. No problem with that. It was the best thing for his life, best thing for his peace. But for the Colts, just think about the search and think about the scramble and think about the confusion that has happened to that franchise since Andrew Luck retired. But I think Matt Ryan's going to be good for them. We'll talk about him a little bit later. I think he's a good quarterback, but I just don't understand why the Atlanta Falcons just can't come out and say it. Say it. You're rebuilding. Here's a list of quarterbacks since Luck. Brissett, Rivers, Wentz, now Matt Ryan. Five different years, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. 5 different quarterbacks over 5 years. I think Matt Ryan will get them to the playoffs, but I don't know how much longer he wants to play, how much longer they'll want him to play. They're not rebuilding. They're a playoff team in the loaded AFC. The Falcons probably going to the top of the draft again a year from now. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.